Session. So for today, we're going to focus more on kind of the website, how do you optimize it, and how do you get more links and more traffic coming into your website. Because the key is, first of all, to get found on the internet, right? And that's through the search engines, yeah, and then driving more traffic, getting more popular.
First of all, Google takes a look at your website page by page. So if there were to be one thing that you remember from today, it's that you don't necessarily need a website strategy, you need a web page strategy. You need to think about your website on a page-by-page basis because that's how Google is going to look at your website. The second thing to think about is Google finds your website or finds your web pages by links that other pages have to a particular page. If Google can't find a link to your page, if Google doesn't come across any link to your page, it will never find your page. So it behooves you to pay attention not only within your own website to make sure that pages link back and forth to each other, but to do everything that you can to get other websites to link to your page. And we'll be talking more about that as this goes on. And finally, Google indexes what it can read. And there are certain things that Google has trouble reading. Google is going to take a look at what your page is titled, what the URL is, what the individual page title is, the different tags like the alt tags, the page description tags. It's going to pay, those are the first sort of Google's, as it's crossing the threshold onto a web page, you know, it rings the doorbell, and those are the very first things that Google sees. It's going to take a look at your headings. There are two things that you're looking for. The search volume is important. You want to know, is this a term that people are actually typing in? And not even so much, it's not that I care that 450 people a week are looking for website design firm. I don't care about the absolute number, but what I'm looking for is, are more people typing in website design firm than website design company, for example. So the relative position of all of these keywords is very important to me. But the competition for a keyword is important also.
What we're looking for is how important is this page? Because obviously, if you've ever done a search on a topic and you come back with 550,000, right, one of 550,000, whatever, right, how do they know which one to put on page 1 versus page 2,530 or whatever, right? So they're also looking at how important is the page. Which ones do they think the reader or the person doing the search is going to be most interested in? And those things are driven by links most often. I wanted to put this up here. It depends on the study you look at, and there are a lot of them that have been done, but roughly 2/3 to 3/4 of the weight that Google puts on where it's going to put you in the rankings is really dependent on those links. Okay?
Wow.
So,
That's why
huge.
I honed in on that one.
Well, I knew you'd like that statistic. Now, that's not to say that the other stuff we covered is not important, because you've got to have that there first, right? Good, clean site, very searchable, great tags, all that other stuff. And on top of that, this is what's really going to ratchet you up.